In-depth review of The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead is a profoundly impactful novel that blends historical fiction with elements of magical realism to explore the brutal realities of slavery in America. The novel was released in 2016 to critical acclaim, winning the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction in 2017 and the National Book Award in 2016. This review will explore the plot, themes, character development, and the novel's broader impact. One plot overview. The story follows Cora, a young woman born into slavery on a Georgia plantation. Her mother, Mabel, escaped when Cora was young, leaving her daughter to fend for herself in a hostile environment. Cora's isolation, combined with the brutal treatment from the plantation owner and fellow slaves, marks the beginning of her journey from victimhood to agency. Cora is persuaded by another enslaved person, Caesar, to flee the plantation using the Underground Railroad. In this novel, Whitehead takes the real-life metaphor of the Underground Railroad, a network of secret routes and safe houses, and transforms it into a literal railroad system with subterranean trains and hidden stations, adding an element of surrealism to the historical narrative. As Cora and Caesar navigate this physical and emotional journey to freedom, they move from state to state, encountering different societal experiments on race and control. Each state they travel to represents a new and distinct form of racial oppression. For example, South Carolina appears progressive, offering Black people jobs and health care, but in reality it conducts eugenics experiments and sterilization without consent. North Carolina has outlawed Black people altogether, conducting public executions for those who remain. Indiana seems like a safe haven, but the community there is violently attacked by white mobs. Throughout their journey, Cora is relentlessly pursued by the slave catcher Ridgway, a cruel figure symbolizing the persistence of racism and oppression. The novel ends ambiguously, with Cora once again on the move, but her fate, and whether she will ever truly attain freedom, is left unresolved. 2. Themes. The quest for freedom. At its heart, the Underground Railroad is about the human quest for freedom. Cora's journey is one of survival, resistance, and the search for self-determination in a world designed to strip her of those rights. The novel portrays freedom as elusive, fragile, and, in some ways, conditional. Even when Cora is free from physical chains, the mental and emotional scars of slavery remain, as do the systemic forces that seek to control her life. Systemic racism and oppression. Whitehead masterfully illustrates the ways that racism is institutionalized and takes on different forms in each state that Cora passes through. He paints a spectrum of oppression, from the overt brutality of slavery on plantations to more insidious forms of control like forced sterilizations and manipulative social experiments. The novel comments on how racism morphs to fit societal needs, suggesting that the structure of slavery may change, but its essence persists in different guises. This resonates with ongoing discussions about systemic racism in contemporary society. The legacy of slavery. The novel also reflects on the enduring legacy of slavery, particularly in how it shapes identity, community, and memory. Cora's journey is not just one of physical escape, but also of grappling with her past, her mother's abandonment, the trauma of the plantation, and the loss of those she loves. The railroad itself serves as a powerful metaphor for the idea of history as something that runs underground, constantly shaping the surface realities of the present. Survival and agency. Cora's evolution from a passive character to an active agent of her own destiny is a crucial element of the novel. Early on, Cora is treated as little more than property, subject to brutal forces outside her control. As the story progresses, she becomes more assertive, making critical decisions that impact her fate. This shift in agency highlights the strength and resilience of enslaved people, even in the face of overwhelming odds. 3. Character development. Cora's journey is one of the most compelling aspects of the novel. She begins as a withdrawn, traumatized figure, shaped by the isolation of slavery and her mother's abandonment. Over the course of the novel, however, she emerges as a symbol of resistance and defiance. Cora is not a simple hero. She is complex, scarred, and deeply affected by the violence around her. Her internal conflicts and moments of doubt make her a deeply human character, one who embodies both the suffering and strength of those who endured slavery. Ridgway. Ridgway, the slave catcher, represents the ruthless persistence of white supremacy. He is more than a villain. He is the embodiment of a system that dehumanizes and commodifies black bodies. His relentless pursuit of Cora mirrors the historical forces of racism that continue to pursue black people in America. Ridgway's philosophy, that white people are destined to dominate, underscores his role as an archetype of the oppressor. Supporting characters. Caesar, while not as fully developed as Cora, provides a counterpoint to her character. He is more hopeful about the possibility of freedom, but his tragic fate underscores the precariousness of the pursuit. Mabel, Cora's mother, looms large in the narrative despite her absence. Her decision to leave Cora behind haunts her daughter and complicates the theme of familial bonds in the context of slavery. Other characters, such as Sam, Martin, and Ethel, illustrate the varied responses of white people to the system of slavery, ranging from active resistance to complacency and moral conflict. 4. Narrative style and structure. One of the most remarkable aspects of the Underground Railroad is its structure. Each chapter is named after the state in which Cora finds herself, and each setting offers a distinct social commentary on race relations in America. This episodic nature gives the book a journey-like feel, with each location presenting a new challenge or revelation. The novel shifts perspectives at times, allowing readers insight into other characters' thoughts, particularly Ridgway, whose perspective offers a chilling glimpse into the mind of a slave catcher. Whitehead's prose is both lyrical and stark. He balances the brutal realities of slavery with moments of surreal beauty and philosophical reflection. His use of magical realism, the literal Underground Railroad, adds a layer of allegory that enhances the thematic depth of the novel without detracting from its emotional impact. 5. Impact and reception. The Underground Railroad was lauded for its innovative approach to historical fiction. By reimagining the Underground Railroad as a literal railway system, Whitehead transforms a familiar story into something fresh and haunting. The novel's blend of historical fact and speculative fiction allows it to engage with the emotional and psychological scars of slavery in a way that feels both immediate and timeless. The novel's success is also due to its relevance to contemporary discussions about race and systemic inequality. In an era marked by movements like Black Lives Matter, the Underground Railroad serves as both a reflection on America's history of racial injustice and a critique of how its legacy persists. Conclusion. The Underground Railroad is a masterful work that redefines the genre of historical fiction. Through its unforgettable characters, its unflinching portrayal of slavery's horrors, and its innovative narrative structure, the novel offers a powerful meditation on freedom, survival, and the enduring legacies of America's past. Colson Whitehead's ability to blend history with imaginative storytelling makes this novel a profound contribution to American literature and a must-read for those interested in understanding the complex history of race and oppression in the United States. The novel's exploration of systemic racism, personal agency, and the human desire for freedom ensures that it resonates far beyond its historical setting, making it a vital and urgent work for modern readers. 1-minute recap.